We will have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag first. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excuse me. Good morning. It's March 27th, 10 o'clock. Call this meeting to order. Excuse me. All three commissioners are here. Can we have consents and approvals?
Yes. We have 18 exonerations for $5,145.98. Vouchers, General County Fund, 202-890.42. Coal severance, 436.25. 911, 2,435.31. Chestnut Ridge Park, 785.57. Camp Muffley, 191.64. Mason-Dixon Park, 2,211.27. Reallocated coal, 553.49. Assessor's valuation, 851.34. Purchasing card vouchers, General County Fund, 5,209.91. 911, 107.87. Home confinement, 232.51. Chestnut Ridge Park, 163.04. Camp Muffley, 373.31. Mason-Dixon Park, 37.18. Assessor's valuation, 424.58 for a voucher total of $216,903.69. We have position vacancies for boards and authorities: Western Board of Zoning Appeals, Mon County Planning Commission, Mon County Development Authority, and Mon County Building Commission. Camp Muffley Advisory Board. Fiduciary orders for March 27, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes. Okay, we have introduction of new employees.
For Camp Muffley, we're going to do the first two.
Okay, Camp Muffley, we will do the first two. Misty?
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I just have Daniel Pollard, maintenance, part-time seasonal, start date April 1st, 2019, rate of pay $10 an hour. Monique Rowe will be head lifeguard, part-time seasonal, start date April 15th, 2019, rate of pay $9.75.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It
Thank
passes.
you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you.
Yeah. We have the Sheriff's Department.
I'd like to introduce Jarrett Kennedy. The sheriff seeks your approval on his appointment. That would be effective April 1st as a full-time transport and processing officer with a rate of pay of $25.57.20 per month.
It's not an April Fool's joke, is it?
It is not, just a coincidence.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Welcome.
Aye. Welcome. Thank you.
Glad to have
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other?
JR has one. Two.
JR has? Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I hope to rehire Jamison Kuhn and Donald Tennant for seasonal help at $10 an hour.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thanks,
Thank you very
gentlemen.
much.
All right, have a good day.
Okay, thank you for coming. Seeing none others, we will have comments from the public. At this time, I ask you to come before the podium, state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guy Panrail, 757 South Hills Drive. And I come here to ask your support for a proclamation for the letter carriers. The 27th annual food drive will be on May the 11th. And last year we collected, collectively, across the nation, 71.6 million pounds of food. And so far, up to date, we've collected 1.67 billion pounds since the inception. Last year, locally, we collected a little over 12 tons. And since we've started here, we've collected 750,000 pounds. And all these foods get to the 12 local food banks. And I've been doing this for 27 years. I've been retired for 7 years, but I still chose to stay involved with it. I think it's important to give back to your community. But anyway, I have this. I would like for you all to do a proclamation.
Sure.
Probably Wednesday the 8th, maybe.
Is that good for you?
That would be fine.
Okay.
They're having a convention
Wednesday the
for
8th.
the letter carriers.
May?
Yeah, 8th of May.
Okay.
Okay, we will.
Yeah, as long
put-
as it's, you know,
Yeah.
if you get too much ahead of time, people
forget.
forget about it. So we usually try to hit them on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay.
And thank you for your
Well,
help.
thank you for doing that, and we will put that on the May 8th, and will you be here so you can?
Yes.
Okay,
yes, I'll
great.
come.
We will
Thank
do
you,
it then.
guys.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak? Okay. Here it is. Seeing none, we can move on. We now have Colleen Kuhn with grants. Good morning.
Good morning. I have the Community Corrections Grant application for the Day Report Center. We are requesting $311,567. I also have for you to sign the memorandum of understanding between the commission and the local community criminal justice board. An independent contractor agreement between the commission and RDVIC and the standard conditions and insurances.
Move for
Thank you very
approval?
much.
Second.
Probably moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Oh, there's my pen. Okay, we now have we have a proclamation for the American Red Cross, month 2019. Would you like to come before? Let's get everyone here. Now, if you came down here in the morning, you're going to be seen. And in fact, what I'd ask, if everyone just would state their names too.
Yeah, I was going to introduce
Oh, that's
everyone.
even
So,
better.
good morning, Commissioners.
Good
My
morning.
name is Jason Keeling. I'm Executive Director of American Red Cross Northeast West Virginia. And the Northeast West Virginia chapter, we actually cover 18 counties, of course, including Monongalia. And our main office is located on Pine View Drive here in the city. I want to introduce several of my volunteers and a colleague of mine. This is Katie Lucchini, and she is with the Davis Insurance Group, and she is what we call a community volunteer leader. And then Rick Colbank, who is one of our chapter board members. He is one of the principals at Alpha Associates. We have Brittany Alston with Jackson Kelly. This is Christina Osborne. She is an intern and a WVU student. And Tony Baker is actually a new staff person, and he is the district manager for Biomed. So he actually helps to procure sites where we take blood and manage those activities in a team that does that. So it's my pleasure to be here. And you have a proclamation before you, and I was going to ask Christina if she'd come forward, read the proclamation, and then I'm going to make a few more comments.
That would be great.
Whereas, during the past year, the American Red Cross responded to mudslides in California, a volcano in Hawaii, wildfires in Colorado and California, destructive hurricanes in Florida and the Carolinas, and a devastating typhoon in the U.S. territories. Thousands of American Red Cross volunteers provided around-the-clock shelter for disaster victims, served millions of meals and snacks with partners, and distributed millions of relief items. And whereas in West Virginia, the American Red Cross has a long history of helping our neighbors in need. In the past year, they assisted 1,057 families who have experienced a local disaster, over 800 of which were devastating home fires. Since the Red Cross Home Fire Campaign launched in October 2014, the American Red Cross, along with community partners, has installed over 22,000 free smoke alarms and made more than 8,000 West Virginia households safer. Through the Sound the Work, 511 lives have been saved nationally, including 25 lives in West Virginia. And the Red Cross has educated approximately 5,000 West Virginia youth about preparedness and coping skills through the Pillowcase Project. And whereas in the past year, Red Cross assisted 1,000 active duty military, veterans, and their families, trained more than 21,000 people in life-saving skills such as CPR and first aid, and collected 26,000 units of life-saving blood. And whereas March is Red Cross Month, a special time to recognize and thank the Red Cross volunteers and donors who give a lot of their time and resources to help members of the community. The Red Cross depends on these local heroes to deliver help and hope during the disaster. We applaud our heroes in West Virginia who give of themselves to assist their neighbors when they are in need and a helping hand. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Commission of Monongalia County dedicates the month of March as Red Cross Month to all those who support the American Red Cross mission to prevent human suffering in the face of emergencies. Our community depends on the American Red Cross, which relies on volunteers and the generosity of the public to perform its mission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you'll take that to the commissioners and if you'd be so kind as to go ahead and sign
Yeah,
this.
we will sign it and then make copies.
Sounds good. And then I wanted to offer a few comments. So the Red Cross Month actually was first instituted by President Roosevelt and has continued to follow suit annually since that time to recognize the work of the organization. And so some of those statistics that you saw or you heard were relating to some of our responses to national disasters, but also some of our statewide statistics. But what I wanted to offer you is some perspective on what we're actually doing here in Monongalia County. I'm sorry to say that we have what we call a disaster program manager, and she actually works with our disaster volunteers who respond, again, primarily in this area, to home fires. Well, she's actually, in our terminology, deployed right now to the Midwest storms and flooding and tornadoes. But what she does is work with, again, these volunteers to respond when there is a local emergency. And so in 2018 in Monongalia County, we actually assisted 15 families in the immediate aftermath of a disaster. And those were essentially all home fires. And so what we do in the immediate aftermath of a disaster is we go out to the scene and we make sure that these families have their immediate needs attended to. We make sure that they have a place to stay, that they have food, that they have the clothing, that they have their medical needs attended to, and perhaps most importantly, we provide them with that emotional support because they've just experienced the most difficult time perhaps of their life. So we like to say that the Red Cross, we are the best, we try to be the best part of someone's worst day. But of course, we're also very proud of the work that we do in terms of providing life-saving blood. And I'd like it to be known that Monongalia County, last I checked, actually is the leading county in the state of West Virginia for blood collection. So we're very grateful to the various partners that help us to make that happen. And last year, we collected just over 2,800 units of blood, and each one of those units of blood can save up to 3 lives. We also worked with 38, we had 38 what they call service to the armed forces cases, and so that's where the Red Cross works with the families of service members who are about to be deployed and also who are coming back into civilian life. So we have essentially caseworkers that work with them on some best practices about managing that process. And then we also have an emergency communication service where, let's say, a service member's family in Monongalia County is experiencing some sort of an emergency. Well, the Red Cross is actually charged through the U.S. Department of Defense to be the verifying agency that verifies there is an event at home and they need to be released for a temporary period. And again, we assisted 38 individuals in this county with that effort. You know, I just want to say, as far as an anecdote is concerned, we've been throughout this month going out to various public bodies, and twice in the last 7 days. I was in Berkeley Springs last week and presenting to a civic group, and that morning there was a home fire in that community. Our volunteers responded. Last night, I was in Fairmont, and just down the road in Clarksburg, there was a home fire affecting 6 individuals. The Red Cross responded. So obviously these disasters happen and the Red Cross works to be there, but it takes community partners to make that happen, like the volunteers behind me and various other members of the community. So we're grateful to have the opportunity to serve the community, and yeah, that concludes my comments.
Do you have a motion and a second, or do we?
A motion to approve the proclamation, which we
Second.
just signed.
Yeah. Been properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Am I correct too?
Yes.
Yeah, just so you know, last several years, we have not funded, and we put in some funding this year for American Red Cross.
Awesome. We appreciate that.
Yes,
very
well, thank
much.
you. We appreciate what you do.
Awesome. And could we get a photo with you, gentlemen,
Sure.
please?
Sure.
We like to get pictures.
Sure,
and-
that's,
You guys, you can go up behind.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Swatch your stuff.
Okay.
They did. I was like, no, not everything. I guess she can't tell you no yet. Is that?
you get us all, or do we need this?
Squeeze down a little tighter.
Okay.
You get really super wide.
Zoom in a little bit. We can take one more, please. Sometimes they don't always.
Smart man.
Great. He's
Oh,
like a
okay.
color. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Like, wait, let me see it. Let me see it. No, my college roommate was
my towel.
notorious for that.
Didn't have picture.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We can have it copied now, or I can mail it to you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Oh, also, we're going to be having a celebration, West Virginia Day, June 22nd, and we're looking to have some tables of maybe you might want to, if you would contact me, we will send you information because we're going to close down in front of the courthouse.
Now, wait, is that going to be on West Virginia
No,
Day?
it's actually going to be on a Saturday.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for letting me know. And frankly, I'm glad you mentioned West Virginia Day,
Yeah.
because our Taste of West Virginia event is going to be this year on West Virginia
good.
Day at the waterfront.
Yes.
So please know that. Last year we had record attendance. We had 450 attendees.
Yeah, I
We had
attended, yes.
22 restaurants. So it's a great way to raise funds for the organization, and we'd love to have you. I promise you will have some excellent food and you will not go home hungry. So that's on West Virginia Day.
Great.
And
If you
thank
could send us the information, and then
Yep.
I'll send you back the information about the others.
Sounds good. I've got
Thank
that
you.
Wingsman email address.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a proclamation for Fair Housing Month. Do we have anyone here for that?
No, no.
Okay, so are you going to read it? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is requirement if we apply for small cities block
Right,
grants
yes.
through Region 6.
We had to do it, yes.
Whereas the Monongalia County Commission desires to give meaning to the guarantees of equal rights contained in the Constitution and laws of the state and the United States, and to encourage and bring about mutual self-respect and understanding among all citizens and groups in Monongalia County. And whereas under the Federal Fair Housing Law, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, it is illegal to deny housing to any person because of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. And whereas under the West Virginia State Fair Housing Law, Title 49-2-305 MCA, it is illegal to deny housing to any person because of race, sex, religion, color, age, physical or mental handicap, or national origin. Therefore, be it resolved that the Monongalia County Commission makes a firm commitment to do all within its power to eliminate prejudice, intolerance, disorder, and discrimination in housing, and that a fair housing law poster, which has the Equal Housing Opportunity logo, will be displayed at the Monongalia County Courthouse. Therefore, be it also resolved that the following procedures will be used to accomplish the purpose of this aforementioned resolution. The County Commission shall inform all county employees of the Monongalia County Commission's commitment to fair housing. The County Commission will post this resolution in county buildings and other public places and publicize it. The County Commission shall direct all employees to forward immediately to the county administrator any reports they receive of housing discrimination. The County Commission shall forward such complaints to the West Virginia Human Rights Commission within 10 days of receipt of said complaint, dated this 27th of March, 2019.
For approval?
Second. Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we're under correspondence. Letter received from Carol Smith, attorney for Keith Pappas, regarding the estate of Arthur P. Scotchell.
Received a letter and also a pretty large packet of
Yeah.
documentation. So I think everybody got copies.
Yes.
Um,
Correct.
Okay.
Letter received from Susanna Poe, professor of WVU School of Medicine, Department of Pediatrics, regarding the Mountaineer Autism Project. I requested her to write the letter so people will understand when they hear the letter.
Okay, on April 2nd, 2019, autism service providers across West Virginia are joining with the statewide Mountaineer Autism Project to shine a light on autism in the Mountain State. Every April, Autism Speaks kicks off World Autism Month, beginning with UN-sanctioned World Autism Awareness Day on April 2nd. Joined by the international community, hundreds of thousands of landmarks, buildings, homes, and communities around the world light blue in recognition of people living with autism. In Morgantown, we have plans to light it up blue at WVU Hospital, the JFK Park in Star City, Woodburn Hall, and the Mountain Lair, among other landmarks. In addition, WVU Children's Neurodevelopmental Center, in collaboration with multiple autism providers in the area, will host a free family fun night from 6 to 8 p.m. at Stepping Stones in Milan Park, where a variety of family-friendly activities and information will be provided to the public. The next evening, we will host a special autism awareness night at the ballpark when WVU plays Pitt, with reduced admission for families. We are requesting your participation in these efforts by considering lighting the river at the Monongalia County Courthouse blue for the evening of April 2nd in honor of the citizens of Monongalia County affected by autism. We would welcome the opportunity to include the Commission in our countywide efforts to shine light on autism. Thank you, Susanna Poe.
So what I would request is that...
I think that's a perfectly wonderful thing to do. I would move that we
Great.
make sure that the river and any other lights that we might have to be able to change to blue on that evening be done.
I agree.
Properly moved in second. I thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think it's something very neat that
Yes.
we're able to do. So, good. Thank you. Okay. Unfinished business.
Two
We
more
have some
items
other
of correspondence that came in.
Okay, sorry.
Granville stopped in, Butch Renner, who's the fire chief, and dropped off an amendment to their annexation application that they dropped off here 2 weeks ago.
Right.
They have amended the first page of the description of the annexation area for the town of Granville. So I have that. And they also dropped off a different map that has some shading to show their current boundaries and what they're proposing to annex. So we just wanted to make that part of the record.
Thank you.
The second letter is from Michael and Laura Blackburn of Core, West Virginia. They are expressing concerns about the possibility of the West Virginia Department of Natural Resources to reopen the shooting range at the Peddler Run Wildlife Management Area in Core.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay. Any unfinished business?
No.
New business. Consider for approval requisition number 18 for the University Town Center EODD Special District Excise Tax Revenue Refunding Improvement Bond Series 2017 Administrative Expense Fund.
The requisition is for $873.75, and that will be paid to MuniCap for their services on the district.
Move for approval?
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To consider request by the City of Morgantown for use of the Mon County Courthouse Square on May 18th, 2019 for Gene Vance Jr. Armed Forces Day celebration.
It is from 9:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. A ceremony will be held at 11 a.m. The application was submitted by Mayor Bill Kowecki.
Great.
Move for approval?
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Consideration to appoint a committee for Gary Allen Richmond, an incarcerated person, as ordered by Judge Russell M. Clauges, Jr.
If you recall, this petition came to you directly from the gentleman's attorney, and under legal counsel, he directed it probably should be denied, and then they filed a claim with the circuit court. And so you now have an order from Russell Clauges' judge that says that that the commission should be appointing a committee. And therefore, the committee would have to be the sheriff of
Sure.
Monongalia County.
Move for approval?
Sorry,
Second.
Sheriff.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consideration to issue a letter to the Monongalia County Development Authority to reconcile an existing accounts payable error.
This is in regards to, as you know, I represent the Development Authority, the Commission on the Development Authority. Since coming on the Commission and the Development Authority in analyzing their financials, they've been carrying a $100,000 liability. It was an amount that was noted it was due to the Commission. And we've done some extensive research, and we can't find where the Development Authority actually owes the Commission that amount. But for the auditors to accept it and remove it from the books, they asked that the Commission send a letter to the Development Authority, and that's what we're doing in this instance. So I would move that we approve the letter as written.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. E, to consider approval of the 2020 fiscal year county budget. I request that we have a motion and a second, and then I would allow
I
discussion.
move that we move to approve. I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, now we have discussion.
Renetta, you want to go over your summary?
Why don't you just,
Yeah, once you,
Okay.
that's
yeah.
fine.
The budget that we are approving, the total amount is $35,782,762. This represents a 1.59 increase over last year's beginning budget, but a 11.07 reduction from the current fiscal year 19 revised budget. I appreciate all the work we've done, the commission and all the elected office holders in working, and all the people that applied for grants and working through this budget. I think it's a very robust budget. We were able to honor all the elected officials' requests. For the most part, our elected officials' budgets are flat, if not having been reduced from last year's budget. So we're getting to a point where we're being the budgets are a lot closer to reality, and we're keeping the remaining dollars in contingencies. The budget has vacancies in it that will be filled. We have a robust, this year we have a robust increase in the prosecutor staff. They requested 2 additional individuals, and they want 2 part-time individuals to be able to move to full-time to cover their workload, and we all agree that that is dearly needed. So we're able to cover that. We continued funding for grants and nonprofits at a rate of, this year we're covering about $1.4 million in requests, which is a $300K increase over last year. So we are, in our process this year, I appreciate, it was electronic. It went very smoothly. The review part, we put information out for what we wanted to see, and people were very compliant, and it was a lot easier process. Now, we had over $1.7 million in requests, but for the most part, I mean, we were able to honor about 1.4. And of course, that's the way you ask, that's the way you apply for a grant. You ask for more and expect that you're going to get less. So this budget also has a fully funded contingency account for the first time since I'm aware of. The county commission, or the Mon County, has a fully funded contingency account. So we're being good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. The carryover in this budget is $8 million. 44% of that is the contingency fund. We have continuing capital projects that are ongoing. The courthouse renovations, our extension building, our IT infrastructure, and we also have also contributing to that carryover is a increase in projected revenue over what we had budgeted. And then we have the simple projections of actual costs coming in under budgets, and that's because of unfilled vacancies. That's just because of normal operations. So for the most part, again, I think this is a very good and robust budget. We do not approve our levy rate until April 18th. The auditor's got to approve our budget, and then we'll officially approve the levy rate, but this budget is also predicated on a further reduction in the levy rate. We had a reduction last year, and we're having another reduction this year. So to put this in perspective, for this current year, only 55 counties in the state lowered their rate, and we're one of those 5. And our rate currently is third in the state, behind Ohio and Marion County. So I think that we're showing the public that we're being very good stewards of their dollars. So I think I've said enough. I'll let you guys.
Well, there's not too much to follow up with that, Sean. Actually, you elucidated it very well, and happy to state the only thing is unfortunate is, of course, the increase is in the prosecuting attorneys is predicated by the amount of drug cases, et cetera, that in DHHR and that sort of stuff that has been going on. I've noticed also, heard reports of Harrison County, same request. It seems to be still, even though the problem is in existence and recognized, it still is not abating.
And just for clarification, we're one of 5 of the 55 counties. You said 55 of the 55 counties.
No, we're one of 5 of 55
Yeah, that lower. Okay, that's no problem. The other thing, could you just explain to the public, because this is where the confusion is, when you say carryover, much of it is already encumbered. So really, it isn't an $7 million carryover. It's actually, I mean,
it's currently
it's a carryover but it's encumbered.
It's dollars that are in
Thank
our
you.
current budget that are
Yes.
some are encumbered. I mean,
Yeah.
our contingency is again 44% of that,
Right.
but it's dollars that we had planned for other things that
Right.
won't be realized and will continue on to the next budget.
And also what you said is correct, that because of the prosecutor, the increase in child abuse cases has went to, I believe, 185, she said. And this is just an enormous amount of increase.
And where they were only seeing like 8
Yeah,
a few
10 and
years
20
ago. Yes.
several years ago. So it's unfortunate we had to increase, but that is the reason why. So with that, any other discussion?
None.
Okay. Call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passes unanimously. Do we have any other new business? Okay, seeing none, do we have any reports from elected officials? Seeing none? Yes? Oh, okay, good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was
Good morning.
hoping that the assessor would be here as well this morning, but we wanted to report that we teamed up, and last week we sponsored a tax increment financing class here in Monongalia County and invited counties from around the state that also have TIFs. It was a very good project, and a lot was learned. So just as we see an increase of those TIFs in our county, it's nice to, kind of stay up on the changes and to better educate ourselves. So I just wanted to let you all know that. And it was very appreciative. The other counties were very appreciative for the opportunity. So
Well,
just
thank
wanted
you
to
for
let
doing
know
that. That's great.
that we are working together, and
Yes.
it was very well received. So thank you.
Thank you. Ed, you can go first.
Okay. I am happy to report that the trail bill did pass and was signed. So looking forward to what we start on a new chapter in recreation in all these counties that are able to do so. The phone interviews for our new planner had narrowed the selection to 3 last week, but 1 has declined, a personal interview. So we are scheduling the interviews for the 2 remaining candidates. 1 will be Friday and hopefully next Tuesday, and then we'll see if we can't hire ourselves a new planner for the county. Also, this Friday is the swearing in of our new judge, Judge Scudera, and Friday also continues with a special work session followed by a retirement party for Judge Claudius. And last night, I'm kind of happy. I don't know where this is going to go, but as a member of the Metropolitan Theater Board, I was contacted by a local filmmaker and the possibility of having a film premiere of his event at the Met, so we might have a red carpet in the making. Thank you.
Good.
I don't have to, next week's going to be a busy week, but reporting from everything from last week. Last Thursday, I attended the swearing in for our new magistrate, Tim Poshas, so I can congratulate Tim, and I wish him luck. It's again, as we were talking about all the cases that those groups are handling, it's not an easy position to be in. Thursday night we had our MMPO meeting. And on Friday, I had a meeting with the county administrator and our insurance carriers to talk about where we are with our insurance. In this week, this afternoon, I have a follow-up with the Open Gov. I'm currently working on a story. My project with them is, as I started to delve into, was levy rates across the state and our county and where we're at. So I actually think it's going to be a story that the auditor would like to use, something where anybody can go up and look and see where their particular county is, their county, their Board of Education, their municipality, to see where they're at in regards to their current levy rates. I didn't mention this, but we're third lowest in the state in regard to our base rate, but even if you add our 4 excess levies in, we're still only 12th in the state. So, and that amount is still less than the 14.3 maximum rate, which 30 of the counties in the state are maxed out at. But there's more to come on that as I work through with OpenGov to get that on our website. Thursday, I have a Health Department Board of Health meeting, a Mon County Development Authority meeting that was postponed from last week, and a Morgantown Area Economic Partnership meeting, all in the same afternoon, so it'll be a busy Thursday. As Ed said, we have a meeting on Friday, and then next week we start meetings with the Extension Building meeting on Tuesday. Tomorrow, tomorrow is opening day, correct?
I know
tomorrow's opening day.
Tomorrow's
opening
day for baseball season. Yes, the Pirates open tomorrow. Yes.
I hope this isn't a sign for the Pirates for next year. They've now changed the Lexus Club to like the Hyundai Club. So I hope that's not a sign of what this year's going to be like. So with that, I'll go ahead and defer to you, Tom.
Sure. Just one thing. I attended the Morgantown Pedestrian Safety Group. That's WVU, DOH, City of Morgantown, and Mon County Commissioners. We will be coming out with a press release, but we have designated 4 specific pedestrian sites areas we're going to work on. We're going to we've come up with some suggestions and plans, and I know that I was able to take back to the committee that the county commission is committed to this project, and I believe it's going to really help in the long run for all of us. So that is all I have.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We be adjourned and gone.